They called me average, and I believed it so. A quiet voice in a world that moves fast and loud. I wore the name like second skin, not knowing it was never mine to begin. I walked the lines they said I could cross, measured my worth in someone else's gloss. But inside the stillness, a spark remained, a whisper that said, "You were never just a name." Beyond what they called me, beyond what I feared, there lives a story that's quietly clear, a strength unseen, a truth unspoken, a soul not broken, just slightly awoken. Hi, I'm Sunny, and I want to welcome you not to just a podcast, but to a space where we get to meet ourselves again. If you are here listening to this, I already know something about you. You are not someone who has given up. You are not someone who is numb to life. You still believe, even if a little, that there's more to you than what the world sees in you. That maybe, just maybe, there is more waiting beyond what you have been told. Maybe you have been called shy, sensitive, average, slow. Maybe you have been labeled too ambitious, too emotional, too late, too different. Or maybe no one called you anything, but you looked around and somewhere inside you labeled yourself. Not as good as them, not ready yet, not smart enough. And those labels, they stuck. They shaped how you looked at yourself in the mirror, how you showed up in the class, in meetings, in conversations, how you took or didn't take risks. They affected what you thought you deserved, who you thought you could love, what kind of life you thought you could live. And that right there is what this podcast is about. And what does beyond the labels really mean? It means challenging the scripts we have been handed by parents, teachers, society, culture, even past mistakes, and asking, is this really who I am? Or is this just who I was told to be? We grow up being sorted into boxes: the smart one, the average one, the pretty one, the rebel, the quiet one, the black sheep. And over time, these boxes become our reality. Not because they are true, but because we stop questioning them. But here's the thing, and I want you to remember this: you are not a label, you are a layered, growing, ever evolving story. This podcast is a mirror to help you see what you have stopped seeing, to help you hear your own voice beneath the noise, to give you tools, stories, reflections that wake up that sleeping part of you that always knew there is more to me than this. And what can you expect from this series? Well, in the episodes ahead, we will talk about real things. The stuff that lives quietly in our hearts but rarely makes it to the surface. We will talk about comparison and how it silently kills joy. We will talk about failure and how it can be your greatest teacher. We will explore emotional patterns, inherited beliefs, breaking mental loops, learning to slow down, how to choose again, how to start over again and again if needed. You will hear me share tools, stories, science, psychology, maybe a few personal reflections, all woven into a calm, thoughtful space that meets you exactly where you are. This is not a podcast where someone screams motivation at you. This is where we walk quietly through some very noisy thoughts and find our way back to the truth. And why is it important now? Because we live in a time when it is so easy to feel lost. We are more connected digitally and more disconnected emotionally. We scroll through perfect lives, edited smiles, curated successes, and wonder why our journey feels so messy. We are surrounded by labels, algorithms, categories, expectations, and it's easy to start believing that we are the only ones still figuring it out. But let me tell you, you are not alone. You are not behind. You are not broken. You are in progress. And progress, my friend, is messy. You are still unfolding, and that is beautiful. So I invite you to stay with me, not just for this episode, but for the journey. Let this podcast be a small pause in your week, a moment where you drop the weight of proving, achieving, comparing, and just breathe into the truth of who you really are. Because the moment you start to notice the labels you have carried, you have already started to outgrow them. And the moment you start listening to that quiet inner voice, you begin writing a new story. So, somewhere in your ordinary days lies an extraordinary strength. Somewhere in your quiet struggles lives a loud purpose. And somewhere, maybe right here, begins your journey beyond the labels. And I'm so glad you're here. So let's begin.